Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another sports ranking video. So, a few months ago, I did a video where I ranked every NHL team name from my least favorite to favorite, so 32 and 1. And I thought it'd be kind of fun since right now we're in the NFL preseason. I would do the same with all the NFL teams, rank them from 32 to 1. My least favorite to favorite. Just want to say first that this is just meant to be fun, just thinking out loud. I don't have a favorite NFL team. I don't have a local NFL team. I'm Canadian. I live in Canada. The closest NFL team to my city that the locals here like are the Buffalo Bills. They've played like preseason games here. And I'm not ranking the logos. I'm just ranking the name. I'm not ranking the popularity, just the name only. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit the like and subscribe button. And yeah, let's get into it. So my least favorite team name is the Cleveland Browns. If this was a lower ranking video, this would probably be in last place also. I'm not a fan of their brand, their team name. I like their colors. The orange is good, but like, come on, they're called the Browns. Why not use brown color then, right? In their logo or in their name. Yeah, like they're named after the original coach, I believe, and yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. It's pretty lazy. I don't know what other team names their team after the original owner or the first head coach. Next, Houston Texans. Now, if this was a logo ranking video, this would be in the top 10. It's kind of like the Philadelphia Phillies. It's such a lame name. We know that they're in Texas, so why are you calling yourself the Houston Texans? Come up with something cool. Now, I wouldn't say go to the original Houston team, the Houston Oilers, I believe, that relocated to Tennessee, but come up with something better, something cooler, something that matches that logo. Carolina Panthers. This originally was going to be the last place team because if you see my NHL ranking one, I don't like the name Panthers. I feel like it's too minor league in my opinion. A lot of high school, college teams use the name Panthers. My high school team used the Panthers. It's such a, especially because I think they came up the same year as the Florida Panthers. So it's too close. It's such a lame name. I know like the NFL, I think they wanted them to be called the Carolina Rhinos or something, but which would have been a cooler name. But yeah, Panthers, it's a cool logo. Don't get me wrong, but I hate the name. Arizona Cardinals. You know, it's not like it's a bad name. It's just, it does nothing to the city. And also, I just want to say, like, a lot of my rankings is based on the originality of the name. And also if it has something to do with the city, the location. Not always the case. At the end of the day, I have to like the name. But Arizona Cardinals, while it's a good name, I think it's coming from St. Louis Cardinals. But once you relocate it, like, you could have just come up with something better. Like, you know, in Arizona, they have Arizona Diamondbacks. They had the Arizona/Phoenix Coyotes. They have the Phoenix Suns. Come up with something cool like desert theme, something to the location. Arizona Cardinals just doesn't do it for me. Miami Dolphins. Now, it is good for the location. I guess it makes sense. But as a team name, as a men's pro sports football team, it just feels kind of weird. It's I know Dolphins are pretty aggressive, but they always the stereotype that, oh, they're cute, loving, cuddly creatures, mammals. So that's why I ranked it where it is. It's not a horrible name, but I just don't like it as much. Chicago Bears. This is also another generic name, but I also have to understand when was the team created. But I also feel like it's a generic thing that any high school team could come up with. Chicago Bears. It's not horrible, but it's just not in my top half. Same goes for the Detroit Lions. I like their name. I like their logo. I like their branding. Lions, again, it's very high school. I think my brother's high school team was called the Lions. So it's but again, it's when was the team created? That's also very important. Same with the Philadelphia Eagles. Cool logo, but as a name, Eagles is pretty generic. Again, very high school. Indianapolis Colts. I actually like the name Colts. Indianapolis Colts does roll off the tongue, so it's not that bad. But because they came from the Baltimore Colts and never rebranded, never changed, that's why I put it where it is. It's not a bad name. It's just, again, not up there like the rest. New York Giants. I actually like the name Giants. It's New York Giants does sound right, does feel right, but the only reason why it's where it is more on the lower half is that it's because it comes after the original New York Giants baseball team that relocated to San Francisco and are the current San Francisco Giants baseball team. That's the only reason why. It lacks in the originality because there was already a team before that. Buffalo Bills. So that's technically my local team. That's it. I think we get those on TV. I guess that's the team that I'd be happy if they won the Super Bowl, but I really don't care either way. Buffalo Bills, it does roll off the tongue. It's, I believe, named after someone who was a buffalo hunter, which doesn't really make sense because the city's called Buffalo, so why would you want someone that hunts buffaloes to be your team? I don't know, but maybe someone can explain to me why they call themselves that, but it's Buffalo Bills does roll off the tongue though. Kansas City Chiefs. Now that is the controversial name that people always bring up when team name controversies and stuff. You know what? I never looked at it as a Native American thing. I've always looked at it as like police chief, fire chief, and I think that's what it was named after, or it was a nickname of a mayor called Chief. I like it. It's not a bad name. Washington Commanders. Now this is pretty much close to the middle, and the reason why I put it here is because I don't hate the name Washington Commanders. I just feel like they could have done better. They had 2 years to come up with a new name after Washington Redskins. Do I think they should have rebranded? I'm going to say yes, but I feel like if they were going to keep those colors, they should have come up with something like Washington Red Hawks, Washington Red Tails, whatever you want to call them. But the fact that they went with Washington Commanders, they should have just went a full rebrand and just changed the colors altogether. That's why I put it in the middle. It's not a bad name. It's a timeless name. This name could have come up 100 years ago and it still works now. So that's why it's more in the middle. Los Angeles Chargers. I like the name Chargers because, again, I feel like with football, you're charging like a group. They're just charging. But I felt like it's too... I just feel like because of the logo kind of throws me off. That's why it's kind of in the middle. Like, I like it, but I don't like what it means. Like, it's more of a lightning bolt charging, but I like the more of like, you're charging, like you're attacking kind of thing. Green Bay Packers. To be honest, it's, again, middle of the road for me. We are halfway, almost halfway. And it's, I mean, I understand what the meaning behind it. I think it was like cheese packing or something. It's just the Packers. It's middle of the road. I don't love it. I don't hate it. New Orleans Saints. Again, middle of the road for me. We have teams called the Devils. We had an MLB team called the Devil Rays, but they shortened it to Rays. They have the Angels, so why not have Saints? But does it have anything to do with the city? I'm not sure. I understand that they announced the team name on All Saints Day, November 1st. But other than that, I'm not sure what's the significance of it. But I do like the name. Minnesota Vikings. I kind of treat this as more like similar to a team called the Warriors. So I like it, but again, I'm not in love with it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I like it. Probably one of the best logos. I think top 10 in a lot of people's rankings. Actually, number 1 in a lot of people's rankings. Dallas Cowboys. I don't know any other team called Cowboys, so they have that. Am I a fan of their logo? Not really. It's a generic star, just a star, right? But it makes sense. It's iconic. You can't change it. It's a good name. Dallas Cowboys does roll off the tongue. It's pretty good. San Francisco 49ers. I believe it's named after the 1849 Gold Rush. I do like it when there's that one team in every league that has a number, like the Philadelphia 76ers. We have the Ottawa 67s, I believe, in Canadian hockey. So 49ers, I think it's pretty cool that just that one team that has a number like that. So yeah, I like the name. It's different too, right? Not every team is going to have that. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I like the fact that they used a name like Buccaneers instead of Pirates. So that's kind of like what I like. I like the originality of it. It's not the generic pirate name. Next we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like the fact that it's it's kind of like a double meaning, right? Like you're stealing the ball, and there's also the Steel City. So the name makes sense and it's catchy. Jacksonville Jaguars. I believe this team came into the league the same time as the Carolina Panthers. So it's interesting that we have two cat like team names in the league of the same year. This it's just that there's not too many of it that I know of that I'm aware of that are called Jaguars in professional sports. So that's one of the reasons why I like that way more than Panthers. LA Rams. I was debating on this because there was LA Rams and St. Louis Rams, and they came back to LA Rams. It's one of those names I guess you can't really change, and again with football, it's kind of like what I thought with Chargers would be like you're ramming into things. So I do like the name of it and their logo too. Well, not this logo, their previous logo. I like that. Cincinnati Bengals. I like the fact that they didn't call themselves the Cincinnati Tigers. They're the Bengals. It's different, unique. I like that name. Not a fan of their logo, but I like their name more. Tennessee Titans. So, like I said earlier with Houston, they were the Houston Oilers. Then they relocated to Tennessee and became the Tennessee Oilers for like a year or two. And then they became the Tennessee Titans. Titans, I think it's like those, it's a Greek god or something like that. So it's something big, huge, which is what football players are supposed to be. So I do like it. And there's not many, I don't know of any other sports teams called the Titans. So I guess a pass. And yeah, I mean, I like it. Again, these are just subjective. They're just names at the end of the day. Atlanta Falcons. I do like that Atlanta teams, majority of them use bird-themed names. Like we have Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Hawks. We had the Atlanta Thrashers. Not a fan of their logo, to be honest. At first, I didn't understand what it was. I mean, I knew it was an F for Falcons, but you look closely, like, oh, it's a bird doing that. I at first glance, I never understood it. But I will say, though, with Atlanta Braves, like that's the only team in Atlanta that doesn't use a bird theme. I wouldn't mind if Atlanta Braves, if they had to rebrand for whatever reason, use a bird theme also. That would be kind of cool. All Atlanta teams use bird theme. It's pretty cool. Seattle Seahawks. I was actually debating I was going to put this a little lower on the list because I didn't know what a Seahawk was until I Googled it, and it's a type of osprey. The name sounds different. There are a lot of Hawks, though, in sports. So, I mean, maybe if I was going to rank this again, maybe it might go a little lower because, in NHL, we have Chicago Blackhawks, and there's also, actually, my college was called the Hawks. Hawks is I feel like it's a popular, there's Atlanta Hawks also. So maybe that's why it's a good thing that Washington didn't rebrand to the Red Hawks. But, like the team name, colors, the logo, everything kind of fits with that Seattle theme. So I do like it. Las Vegas Raiders. Now, funny thing about this ranking is that I had it placed in this spot, and then when I realized that, oh wait, this team is Las Vegas, is not Oakland. They should be between like the Arizona Cardinals and the Indianapolis Colts, but then I realized, wait a minute, this is the Raiders. You cannot change that name, even if they relocate. That's a very iconic name. I actually remember when I was a kid, we're in Canada. There's no NFL team here, but a lot of kids wore Raiders jackets. Like, even though I personally don't like the logo, but it's such an iconic brand, the colors, the logo, everything. So you can't touch it. It's definitely better than being called the Seniors. That's what they were going to be called originally. But Raiders is just such a cool name, and your rating, like it's pretty cool. New York Jets. I like the fact that they named it because they're close to an airport. Now, in my NHL team name ranking video, I said that the Jets, I put them lower on the list only because they came after the New York Jets. So the New York Jets actually were here before. That's why it's ranked higher. The Winnipeg Jets, whether they're the current Jets that were relocated from Atlanta Thrashers to become the current Winnipeg Jets, or even the original Winnipeg Jets that relocated to Arizona and are now Utah. They came after. New York Jets came first. That's why they're ranked higher. Denver Broncos. I like the name. It's pretty good. It's different. It's unique. It's catchy. It's marketable. I like the name Broncos. New England Patriots. I kind of wish Washington had a name like that. Washington Patriots, that would have made more sense. But New England Patriots does roll off the tongue more. I mean, they're not called the Boston Patriots. They're not called, they're New England. And just, I like the brand, the colors. Hate that logo, by the way. I don't like logos that use faces, which is why I don't like the Raiders logo. But I like the name. It's very catchy. I always like that one team in the league that use a patriotic name, whether it's Canadian or American. And this is just Patriots, so you can even use. They could have been in any country. They could have relocated to Canada and be called the Patriots and use red, white, and blue. Sorry, not red, white, and blue, red and white. And so this is number 2. Number 1 is Baltimore Ravens. And by the way, I just realized when I was ranking this that I used so number 32 in last place was the Cleveland Browns, and number 1 is the Baltimore Ravens, who are the original Cleveland Browns. And if you don't know, the original Cleveland Browns relocated to Baltimore, but Cleveland got to keep their the logo, colors, and history. And then a few years later, the current Cleveland Browns came into the league, and yeah, that's what it is now. So I do like the name Ravens. It's just how many sports teams are called Ravens? They probably use Crows, or at least in minor leagues. But Ravens is just, it's cool. It's catchy. Baltimore Ravens. Not a fan of the logo. I mean, I like their current. I like the bird logo. I don't like that shield logo that everyone else likes, but I just don't like that there's a B on that. You don't need it. It's a marketable name, and like their colors too. The purple, gold, and black. It's creative. That's all what it comes down to. So guys, this is my ranking. Let me know if you agree with me or not. What's your favorite team name? And if you're a fan of one of the teams that are ranked low, don't be offended. This is just pure fun, just opinion only. If you want to see more sports themed football, NHL, or other sports ranking videos, let me know in the comments what kind of videos you want to see. Also, please like and subscribe. Help me hit 500. I'm hoping to hit 500 subscribers by the end of September. I'm hoping for it, but we'll see what happens. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoy the NFL season. And I hope I get to see you on the next one.